Hi, my name's Vince, and I'm chronologically preeminent. Well, when I was coming up, I was a kid. I did all the things that most other kids did, especially if they're boy kids. Got into. I had a friend down a couple doors down that did magic tricks and magic stuff, and I actually tried to practice a little sleight of hand for a while because it's really good for your physical. But I was never very good at that until just a couple years ago. I got a magic card. I've been waiting for it all my life. It's funny when you have kind of a unusual, non-traditional work, which my wife and I both had. She was a cocktail waitress and bartender for quite a few years. I was a stand-up comedian and touring comedian. So, as you can imagine, healthcare was something that we had when we had it, and we didn't when we didn't. And it's kind of amazing that all of the money that we paid in taxes is actually we're actually getting an opportunity to use some of it nowadays. And Medicare was a wonderful thing. I turned 65 just a couple months before COVID started. And you can't apply for your Medicare and everything else until you've been 65 for 3 months. So they just banged right into each other. COVID and the time I got Medicare was at the exact same period of time. So when I got Medicare, almost all the offices were shut down. A lot of the phone lines had been shut down as well, and it was real difficult to get any kind of information. I tried to kind of slog through the Medicare information on my own. You have to be careful when you go out and talk to these people that supposedly are trying to help you with your Medicare. The reason why is there is something that's going on in the world now which is weird. It should be illegal, but it's definitely not good for you. So I just wanted to warn you about it. And a lot of these brokers, these healthcare brokers, the ones that will try to give you advice on Medicare, will also try to push this to you. Medicare often has a lot of gaps, things that are not covered by Medicare. So if you want to get something that will back it up, they have got a product that they have been calling Medicare Advantage, which is neither. It is not Medicare and it is not Advantage. I'm not even sure how they can use the name Medicare. Medicare lets them use the name to essentially try to hijack customers from Medicare. So these Medicare Advantage places, they really play it up. They pay you some money every month or something, but your medical coverage really lacks considerably. They offer a lot of these silly little perks, which are, they're nice. They really are nice. But when it comes down to a lot of the certain things, a lot of the certain issues that we get later on in life, a lot of those are denied by Medicare Advantage because basically what you've done is you haven't gone back into the Medicare program. You've gone into a smaller pot of doctors who do certain things, and they can all decide that they are not going to honor things for a certain thing. So anyway, that is kind of what happens with Medicare Advantage. Remember, Advantage is wrong. Medicare is wrong. Now, you can get a supplemental. There are other supplementals you can get. I guess the one with the duck is kind of a supplemental, which actually will get you some things. What I did was I went out and I found what Medicare calls Part G. And Part G is what they call Medicare Medicare Supplemental. And Medicare Supplemental is actually bought through a insurance company, but they cover up all the gaps. So basically, with the Medicare supplemental that I have, I pay one of the higher tiers, which comes to about $200 a week, but I'm covered for virtually anything. My entire operation getting it inspired the other day cost me $30 total. So that's nice. Anyway, I just wanted to make you aware. Be careful. Get all the information you can when you do this. Like I said, I didn't really have that much assistance. This was in March 2020, and everything was shut down. I didn't even get this properly. You always get the A and the B, which is the hospital and the medical. I didn't know you had to get pharmaceutical coverage, so I didn't even get it until this last year. 6 years after I've had Medicare, I finally got some prescription coverage. So make sure that you are careful and you get all the answers, and don't fall for any of those Medicare Advantage plans. Many of them are being sued by the different states. Some of them have some federal cases against them, but don't fall into that. And try not to make that mistake off the bat, then you won't have to worry about it later. Anyway, I'm Vincent. You've got to remember, I'm here to let you know when I find out stuff that they didn't warn you about.